Hello guys, this is Double Sim here. I am bringing you a Falcon BMS tutorial on how to take your F-16, bring it from ramp to takeoff. Now, first thing we're going to want to do is to switch the fuel intake from off to norm, and go to electronics panel and switch to battery. Next thing you want to do is come over here, under jet fuel, hit start. You're going to see a little green light come on, and you're going to hear the engine begin to spool up. It's going to do so till it gets up to about 25, at which part we will begin the next step. Now that it's there, we're going to go over here, throw it up to about 10%, left click on the indents, bring it back down. You're going to hear the engine begin to be quite loud, and it's going to go up to about 70%. Now, once it's done so, we'll go on the electronics panel and switch to main power. All those little lights and indications will go away. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to come over here. Underneath this, you can't quite see it, but this is a button. You're going to hit this, and it's going to turn on your oxygen. You're going to come here, and you're going to hit this, and it'll arm your ejection seat. Careful not to hit this down here, or else you will be ejected. Not fun. Now, moving from left to right and across, we're going to be turning on our systems. We're going to go down to your lighting exterior down here. You turn on anti-collision, flash, wing and tail fuselage, and mast norm. And to turn on your navigation lights here and here that you can see blinking away. Now you're going to come down here, switch on ECM and up front controls. You come down to your radio panel, switch it to both, come on to about half, and this to about half as well. Threat missiles up and your general threat indicator up. Next thing you're going to want to do, which is something I prefer, you turn on HUD symbology. It's going to broadcast on your little helmet things like speed, direction, bearing, altitude, so and so. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to arm your countermeasures. Then you're going to switch the mode to manual. Come here, hit power. I'm going to turn you on. You're going to turn your display on. It's going to show all friendlies within your vicinity and their direction and heading and the flight that they're in. Here. Turn on parking brake, so when they remove our trucks we won't come like hurtling down their own way. Never pleasant. Come here, turn on all your radar. Ignore everything here. It's a bit advanced. You're going to come down here. Everything in here is completely preference. Depends on whether you want certain lights on. I'll keep this on just because I enjoy contrast. Then I'll come here. This is my avionics and navigation. So I'm going to turn everything on and switch my navigation mode to normal. Come up here. Now, when I switch on my navigation, it adds a nav and then a line to my HUD. Right now, if the line is not blinking, we are still aligning to the GPS. That's going to take some time, and it's also doing a bit scan search of our systems. Next thing we're going to want to do, while those are aligning, you can see our altitude is way off. Because Kusan Air Force Base is at sea level. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down here, and we're going to mouse wheel over this until it gets to 0. Because that's about our barometric altitude right now. Now that this is all aligning, we're going to fast forward here by hitting Shift Tab. And we're going to decelerate when the process is done by hitting Shift Tab. As you can see, this has begun flashing, which means we need to come down here and switch it from norm to navigation. As you can see down here, your HSD has now loaded all these data points, because now we have the proper input to display it. And so we can see what's directly in front of us, we're going to switch this to TFR. It's just a preference of mine when I'm taxiing. And we're going to come down here, we're going to back out of this. Hit DTE, or data transfer cartridge, and load it. It's going to make one spin around, and it's going to be loaded. It's going to load all our data that we set pre-game. It's going to be able to hear the radio, taxi, and our different waypoints. That's going to now be displayed. Back out of this, and return to HSD navigation. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to come here. You're going to hit Shift and backslash. This is going to turn on nose wheel steering. Now that we are all completely started up, we're going to come hit T on your keyboard. Hit 5.
1-1, ready for departure.
This is going to tell the tower that we were requesting to taxi to the runway.
Taxi in sequence. You're number 7 for departure.
We are, as you hear, number 7 to land. So we're going to fast forward until it is our time. I'm going to ask again, just to see what place we are.
1-1, taxi, runway 18.
Let's just give it permission, as you heard, to taxi. We're going to come down here, and hit T, and hit 8 to request our chocks to be removed. I'm going to come here and remove our parking brake / anti-skid. Even though we're auto thrust, we will begin to roll, and our fellow F-16 pilots, as you will see shortly, will begin taxiing with us.
Maintain maximum forward speed.
This is a flight of 4, in case you were wondering. We're going to turn left.
Angel 1-2, inbound for landing. Angel 1-2, orbit for spacing. Viper 1-4, maintain 2. Viper 1-3, maintain 200 knots. Turn left.
We're going to make a left here. Get on the runway.
Viper 1-2, on final. Viper 1-2, turn left to final approach course 175. Check. Ground for landing. Angel 1-1, orbit for spacing.
Be careful while you're taxiing, not to go too fast, because with your nose wheel steering on, if you go too fast and you try to turn, you will tip over and explode. That is never pleasant.
On final. Viper 1-3, turn left to final approach course 175. Slow to approach.
Hold K here so you can slow down and make the turn.
Angel 1-2, maintain 25.
We're going to continue our turn right here.
225, vectors to final, runway 18.
This is going to take us to the beginning of the runway. Hey guys, I decided to go ahead and to cut the video until we were at takeoff, because no one likes to watch me sit there and taxi. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to throttle up to about 8. Turn off nose wheel steering, because as I've mentioned before, if you try to turn with that on and you're going fast enough, you will flip over and meet your doom. We're going to watch our speed right here. When it gets to about 180, we're going to begin to lift our nose and decline the speed to about 50%. Bring my speed down, hit G, bring down my landing gear. Make sure you bring up your landing gear right before, well, not right before, but before you get to about 300 miles an hour, when your gears will be ripped off. And you guys have successfully brought up the F-16D and B.M.S. from ramp to takeoff. Good job, guys.
Friendly, North 4.
You're leaking tons of fluid. It looks like gas. That's why I'm wondering what your gas is.
Okay.
It's all coming out right where the hook meets the engine.
Copy. Okay, how far do I got to go? To the border.
Border 60 miles.
Might make it, Nick.
Yeah, you will, Homer, man. Don't worry.
And Benji, your friendlies are tally with you.